It's the final countdown. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am James Phoenix, and welcome to yet another monthly installment of the final countdown, where we count down the top 5 of whatever the hell I feel like that month. Joining me, as always, from the mole, Chris the Mole.
Hello.
And from the Shadows Mall, Marcus Shadow.
Hello.
And this week, we will be counting down the top 5 Disney crossovers as part of the Summer of Disney. Yeah. By Disney crossovers, I define this as either A, a Disney property crossing over with a non-Disney property in some manner, or B, a Disney property crossing over with another non-directly related Disney property. Either of those count. Okay? Okay. So, I'm going to go ahead and kick this off, as I am one to do. And here's one that is particularly unique, I think. Where's my link? Where's my key? Where's my image? So, to kick us off, my number 5 is the Enchanted Tiki Room under new management.
Okay.
If anyone, I don't know if anybody's heard of this, but the Enchanted Tiki Room is, of course, a famous Disneyland and Disney World attraction. It was one of the originals opened when Disneyland first opened. It was since carried over to Walt Disney World, and it's in most of the Disney parks around the world. I'm not sure. Is it in Disneyland Paris, Mole? Do you know?
I haven't been.
Fair enough. But you're going, right?
Going? Oh, I don't know.
Fair enough. Let me know. Anyway. The Enchanted Tiki Room is a well-known attraction where a crowd enters a small room. They sit around while animatronic birds sing songs and act funny. Specifically singing their ever-famous song, "In the Tiki 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 Room, in the Tiki 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 Room, all the birds sing words and the flowers bloom in the Tiki 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 Room." Or flowers croon, I think is the word. Anyway, yeah, the song is incredibly famous. People know it, and the Tiki Room has been legendary for many, many years, ever since Disneyland opened, and it was brought to Disney World when Disney World opened, and has been there ever since. But for a period of time, this happened. This is the Enchanted Tiki Room under new management. What that was is a period of a few years, I think it went about 5 or 6 years, where Disney decided to revamp the ride to make it, well, not ride, quote unquote, but the attraction to make it more modern. It was not particularly good.
Why is it on your top list?
Because the concept was awesome. Using it as the Tiki Room was the bad idea. But the concept was cool. That's here. Yeah, it looks like it actually ran for about 11 years. It looks like it opened in May of '98 and it ran until about 2011. So, but the premise of this, as opposed to just we're going to enter and the various birds are going to sing to you and that's going to be the thing, they decided to update this particular attraction. And the premise being, as you go in, there's 2 bird lawyers arguing with each other about the 2 new owners of the Tiki Room and how they have different ideas as to how it should be run. As you can see in the image, of course, the song goes away, but the 2 new owners are, of course, the very neat and proper Zazu from The Lion King and the very loud, boisterous, messy, and generally jerky Iago from Aladdin. Iago is, again, voiced by Gilbert Gottfried here. I do not know who voiced Zazu on this one. I know it was not Rowan Atkinson, but I don't know who did do it.
Ooh.
Yeah, sorry. He's too busy being awesome at other things. So, the premise as you enter at this point when you enter the room is it started with the original Tiki song and the original birds for about maybe 5 minutes, maybe a little less, until Iago came down from the ceiling, and this is all with animatronic birds, mind you, came down and interrupted to declare that, no, we're going to change this place up, we're going to make it cool, and generally act like a jerk, because Zazu comes down and tries to stop him, and basically tries to be like, no, we're going to make this a proper place, da-da-da-da. They go back and forth, Iago pisses off the Tiki God, and he gets electrocuted with lightning and blasted through a wall. Which, overall, the concept of, hey, Zazu and Iago arguing with each other and owning a place, and Iago getting beat up in a ride, and the way they set up was really cool. The one thing I didn't like was the fact that they replaced the Enchanted Tiki Room, which is my favorite Disney World attraction. I'm like, God damn it. I can't. I've only been here twice. This is the second time. The Tiki Room I loved last time I came here, and I got this.
So what should be on the list is the original Enchanted Tiki Room.
But that wasn't a crossover.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Fair enough.
Is that they made it a crossover, and the idea of the crossover was good, having Zazu and Iago work together in the concept they went with. The overall, the product was fun to watch. It was a fun thing to see. The little show was really good. I just disliked the fact that they replaced the other Tiki Room with this. I thought this should have been its own attraction with a different name.
So what you're saying is the attraction is good. It's just for personal reasons you don't like it.
Exactly. It's not the Tiki Room.
Yeah, so it's sort of like how I felt when I saw that Simpsons replaced Back to the Future at Universal Studios.
Exactly. Like, Simpsons are good, but it's still, it's not Back to the Future.
It's just that Back to the Future ride, it was dated, but it was really good. I mean, it was dated when I went to, like, I could tell it was outdated technology, but that was part of its charm.
Yeah. But I haven't been to Universal Studios, but if I recall correctly, didn't they tie that in by saying that Krusty bought the Institute of Future Technology from the dock?
Yeah, they tried to tie it in the same way this one does. Of, oh, look, it's under new management, but it's like, eh.
Yeah. But yeah, overall it was a fun little thing. I think Gilbert Gottfried did a great job as Iago. Iago sings a song about how awesome he is. I don't remember the exact name of the song, but I remember he sings a song about how awesome he is. He's going to run the place, da-da-da-da.
I believe the song in question was the Tsunami Serenade.
No.
Boom! Gilbert Gottfried joke.
No. Actually, Iago sings his own song that is performed to the tune of "Friend Like Me." Actually, is the tune they used with new lyrics.
I didn't think it'd really be a Tsunami Serenade.
Okay, fair enough.
Like I said, I was just making a joke about Gilbert Gottfried and getting all that trouble after he made those Twitter posts about the tsunami.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, basically, I was singing a song about how awesome he is to Friend Like Me and everything else. And basically, everybody's warning him, you don't want to do this, you're going to piss off the Tiki Gods. He doesn't listen. And then he pisses off the Tiki Gods. And the Tiki Goddess of Disaster emerges and uses her magic to shoot him with lightning. And he gets a big puff of smoke, gets thrown through a wall. And it's kind of cool. So, nice. And then they sing "In the Still of the Night" by the Five Satans. Zazu mentions Hakuna Matata, but does not actually sing the song. And as everybody goes to leave, the Tiki Birds sing "Get on Your Feet" by Gloria Estefan. I don't know why.
Okay then.
And then they follow that with "Hi Ho." So yeah. It was funny and it was kind of entertaining. It was just, I just didn't like that I liked the original Tiki Room, and while I liked this as well, I didn't like that it replaced the old one. I would have liked to have had both and had this be a separate attraction. Although let's not say this was bad, it was just different, and while I liked it for different reasons. So yeah, Enchanted Tiki Room under new management. Crossover of the original attraction plus Zazu of Lion King, and of course, Iago of Aladdin. Good stuff.
Yay.
Let me hit where's my mini cam? Let's switch image back to logo. There we go. Okay, who wants to go next?
Yeah, I'll let Marcus go next.
Marcus, you're next.
Right. Well, I went a little maybe cliche with this one, but when I was going through the lists of crossover stuff, I realized I had not seen as many crossovers as I thought I had. And some that I've seen, it's been so long, I don't remember. So, this one is my number 5. It's back, people. It is Kingdom Hearts. Despite the one issue with it that Mole had that I kind of agree with, it's still a fun crossover. It's interesting to have, all the characters kind of in one universe and interacting with, Sora and whatnot. So, I enjoyed it, and then, and I was like, this is kind of cool.
I would also say for the people listening, you may want to say which issue, due to the fact, as Jim can attest to, when we did the Kingdom Hearts review, I gave that an avoid because I have many, many faults with that game.
The one big issue that I remember from our discussions, both on and off the air, because I know we have talked about on the air, and I was not in the review, was the the whole making Sora the hero of all the stories. Which I'm like, yeah, I can kind of agree with that.
Fair enough.
But that aside, I thought it was a pretty good crossover between like the Disney properties stuff, and and even crossed with video games because you had like Cloud and Sephiroth and stuff in this game. So I'm like, that's kind of cool. Disney crossed with video games. Thumbs up.
Well, with one particular franchise.
Yeah, well,
That's not true. They crossed it with Space Paranoids. That's a video game. No. Sad face. Okay,
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't as crossover with video games like say the Wreck-It Ralph scale of stuff where it had like, oh my god, look, there's Cubert, there's Sonic, there's you know what I mean?
Well, supposedly Wreck-It Ralph's going to be one of the worlds in the next in Kingdom Hearts 3, so if it will be, who knows? But anyway, let's move on. Mole, how about your number 5?
My number 5, which it's not a great property, but boom. This is Mickey Mouse's Clubhouse, I believe. No, or House of House of Mouse, I believe. So Clubhouse is the other one.
Yeah, that's one Mickey's a dick to people for no reason.
Yeah, this is the one where he has a reason. But basically, this is a excuse for Disney to show off their old like Mickey Mouse cartoons, but it works because there's someone that's watched this with like younger people. It's a great excuse for them to be able to see like the old Mickey Mouse cartoons, and then in the club itself, you see like all the Disney characters from like all the films and stuff just in the background, like talking, having conversations. I don't think any of them are voiced by their actual people, but that doesn't matter.
Actually, quite a few of them are when they're available. Actually, like
when they're available, which means there's also ones where there's not. But
no, but they tried their best. They're pretty good about that. Like I know, anytime Jafar appeared, he was Jonathan Freeman and so on. Go Gilbert Godfrey and so on and so forth. Usually, I mean, when available, I mean, for instance, if the voice actor was dead, or if it was a voice actor who was too old to voice the character anymore, they might have replaced him. But for the most part, they did try to use the official Disney voice actors. They were pretty good about that.
See, I was pretty sure they didn't for a lot of them because I have like a couple of DVDs of this, and like Jafar sounds way the fuck off. So either the guy who plays Jafar is just shit and phoned it in, or it was a different voice actor. Either one.
Yeah, it could be either way.
But like I said, it was still cool, and you got them all doing all the stuff, and it was cool to be like when you're watching it, it'd be like, oh yeah, that character, oh yeah, that one, which was pretty cool, and it was a great way of showcasing the old stuff, like making old new again, and it was pretty cool. And they tied the episodes in too, like. If it was like, let's say Mickey had a problem or one of the guests had a problem, they'd show the cartoon, and the moral of the cartoon would be the message the guest needed to understand. So that was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was House of Mouse.
Mm-hmm. I remember the episode where there was some kind of magic thing going on, and they made the building disappear. And then Jafar and Iago showed up for a thing they were supposed to be at. And I remember Iago was like, "Oh, great! This is just great! Look at this! Was so late, the building laughed." I thought that was a funny episode. But yes, I also like Mickey's House of Villains. That was a good movie. And I think the Snowed In was pretty good too.
I will say I hated that movie.
Fair enough.
House of Villains, because it was just an extended episode of the show. And with the DVD box, when they released it and how they showcased and how they advertised it, they made out it was going to be something completely different to the House of Mouse. And it wasn't. And I'm like,
It's our house now.
But the other one was pretty good because that one was actually advertised as like an extended episode and stuff. And it's like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, they did Christmas cartoons. It was nice. Or winter cartoons, anyway.
Yeah, I do like some of their Christmas stuff, like Twice, like some of the Disney's Mickey cartoons, like Once Upon a Christmas and Twice Upon a Christmas and stuff.
The second one would seem to defeat the idea of the first one. I mean, that would be like saying you're going to have a WrestleMania match once in a lifetime and then having it the following year again.
Like I said, insert once in a lifetime joke. But yeah, it was Once Upon a Christmas and it was Twice Upon a Christmas and stuff, and it was like CGI-ish on some of it, but both of them were pretty good films. But yeah, House of Mouse. Back to Jim.
All right, fair enough. Thank you, Mole. So, moving on to my number 4. Yes. Because I'm trying to remember if I actually got around to reviewing this like I intended to, like 2 Summer Disneys ago. I'm not sure if I did. Maybe Marcus can help refresh my memory on this.
Mm-hmm. Is that the Hercules Aladdin?
I give you Hercules the Animated Series, the episode Hercules and the Arabian Night.
Yeah, we reviewed that.
Okay, I couldn't remember if we reviewed that or not.
Yeah, we did, because we watched it together.
Fair enough. I knew we watched it. Couldn't remember if we actually filmed the review.
I'm fairly certain we did.
Fair enough. Go check our XCOM backlog. There's probably a review of this, but just to summarize, this was an episode of Hercules the Animated Series, which was on the air after the Aladdin Animated Series was canceled. There might have been a little bit of overlap. But by this time, the Aladdin Animated Series was canceled, and the movie Aladdin and the King of Thieves had come out, direct to video. And in this episode, Jafar, who has apparently been lingering for whatever reason ever since he got killed in Return of Jafar, is just now getting to the underworld. Not totally sure how that works time-wise. But he's just now getting to the underworld where he meets up with Hades and says there's been a mistake. I can't be dead. I have to go take over Agrabah. They start getting into a discussion. Hades is annoyed as hell by this guy at first. But then when Jafar starts basically saying that he could get rid of Hercules in a heartbeat, Hades is like, all right, smart guy, you want to try this? Go ahead. And Jafar gets beat by Hercules, and then Hades' 2 Pain and Panic minions get beat by Aladdin and outsmarted. And it ends with them deciding to come up with a plan to trick the 2 of them into destroying each other. It's a pretty awesome crossover, and they did get the full Aladdin voice cast back. Scott Weinger as Aladdin, Linda Larkin as Jasmine. Obviously, Frank Walker doing a boo. Yes, Mo?
Though it is filled with plot holes.
Yes, it's plot hole to hell.
That's why it wasn't on my list. I was like, oh, with the plot holes. Like you just mentioned with Jafar. In the Hercules actual show, they showed whenever someone died, they instantly went there.
Mm-hmm.
This one, it's like, oh, for convenience sake. And also with the actual histories and stuff of the worlds, when you actually do research on real-life histories, those 2 are actually pretty far apart, but they shouldn't meet.
Yeah, you would think. But it's a lot of fun. So they got the original voice cast back for the Aladdin characters. The only character that did not appear was the genie. He only appeared in one instance where Aladdin tricked Pain and Panic into opening the top of the lamp, and Genie's fist came out and punched him so hard they flew back all the way back to Greece and crashed back into the underworld because they could not get Robin Williams or Dan Castellaneta available long enough to do dialogue for the episode, which sucked. But either way, it was still an awesome crossover. They did a great job. The interaction between Abu the monkey and Hercules' sidekick Icarus, voiced by French Stewart, was hilarious. The 2 heroes working together was a lot of fun. Jafar and Hades working together was the best part. That was just hysterical. Jafar does evil plan. He starts cackling. And like, what are you doing? What's with the laughter? What's going on here? It's a flourish. It punctuates my evil. Give it a try. And they start evilly laughing. He's like, hey, I like this. Those 2 together are great. Jonathan Freeman and James Woods clearly had a field day. It was great. But yeah, I like this episode. It was a lot of fun. Marcus, how about your number 4?
My number 4, going back to the cliche well for this one. Disney Infinity 2.0, because as Mole pointed out with the last list, that is the one that I actually played. But yeah, I think Disney Infinity is a great crossover property.
I will say, because I'm looking at this image, because you use this image, I'm strictly limiting you to the French version.
Funny.
I would also make the case that's both games.
Oh.
Fair enough.
The characters on the bottom were all the ones you could get in the first game-ish, minus a couple of them like Tinkerbell and stuff that were for the second one. But you could use the figures on both games, though.
Fair enough.
Which I have to say that picture's a little lazy. Not that, you know where it says Disney Originals? Obviously, you could carry them over and cross them over, and that would completely count. But that first picture where they're all lined up, that's exactly what they used for the first game. I'm like, really? Really going to reuse it for the second? Not even going to put them in a different fucking order?
Yeah. Hey, saves costs. That means they don't have to get the product and take more pictures and spend money. But yeah, Disney Infinity is a great crossover property. I mean, literally take almost any character, put it with almost any other character, and just go wild. It's awesome.
Except unfortunately, which we'll get to because it's on my list too. But unfortunately, play sets.
Playsets, yeah.
Which is the best part.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, that and the decorating your house on the second one.
Back to Jim.
Alrighty. Mole, how about yours? Number 4.
My next one is a really weird choice.
Okay.
I don't know if everyone here has played it or if everyone here even liked it. Suit up, get your suit on, suit up. This is Disney Universe.
Nice.
Which, for
Never
people
played.
wondering, it's not like Little Big Planet, like people first assumed seeing the pictures of what they look like. In fact, it plays pretty much like the Lego games. Only everything's inspired by Disney stuff. Like you can see, like you can get like a Pumbaa costume or Stitch costume. I mean, it says it all when I'll ask Jim this question. It's somewhere at Disney. How is Scar normally portrayed?
Normally he's portrayed as being evil and kind of a dick.
Oh, okay. And how does he look? What type of animal and stuff is he?
Well, he's a lion. He's got a dark black mane. He's got like a dark complexion. He's kind of, he's not like a fully grown out muscular lion like Mufasa. He's a little bit thinner, a little bit more agile, maybe. Kind of slinks around.
Yeah, not in this game. I could possibly look up his picture for you right now, but I'm not sure if I should. I could do, but he is completely different. Only because the second you see this, you're gonna be like, the fuck.
Hmm.
That's what'll make the reveal more funny.
Okay.
Hang on. Yeah, that'll do. View image. No, not the fucking Cheshire Cat. Though Alice levels were included in that, and that was fucking awesome.
Nice.
But yeah, let's save it.
Why does that image look like Beast Boy wearing a Pumbaa mask or Pumbaa hat?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just one of those Rorschach tests.
Ah.
Okay, meet Scar.
He's a tank?
He's a tank. Like I said, it was inspired by it, and he shoots cannons, and you have to go around. There's also a pirate ship that looked like Scar and stuff.
Nice.
It's weird. It's fun. It's Disney Universe.
Not a
It's
simple
totally-
train. That was cool.
Yeah, if you've got a PS3, I do recommend, and you like Disney, I do recommend at least trying this. Like, rent it at your local libraries if you're people like Jim, or buy it because it should be dirt fucking cheap. This should be like the cheapest shit you buy. You can probably even buy a complete edition. It'll come with all the DLCs they did.
Probably.
So yeah, Disney Universe. Suit up, get your suit on. Back to Jim
Fair enough.
in his golden dungeon.
All right. Let's see. What's next on my list? Ah, yes. That does need to be mentioned. Where is my...
And see, Marcus, I helped you out. I showed you Scar if he was a tank. That's another thing you can cross off your bucket list.
Woo!
Nice.
Because I'm sure everyone had that on their bucket list, right? See Scar as a tank. No.
Indeed. Now, I'm sure this one was obviously inevitable for my list. We all kind of knew this was coming.
Kingdom Hearts or Kingdom Keepers?
I give you the Kingdom Keepers, but we'll get there, Mo.
Oh, they're both on your list.
Yeah.
Cool.
The Kingdom Keepers. If you haven't heard about it, go back and watch a bunch of our past and Around the Pounds and my series which I reviewed it. You can hear it on both, and you will hear me review this series in great detail.
Too much detail.
Probably too much detail. The basic concept is that 5 teenagers are chosen to be new holographic Disney tour guides. They're basically scanned, they do voice work, and this becomes holographic tour guides that give people tours of various Disney attractions, specifically in this case Walt Disney World. However, what the teens find out after all this is done is that when they go to sleep, they wake up as their holographic selves in the park, where they are informed by an elderly man named Wayne, who turns out to be one of the original Imagineers who knew Walt Disney, that it turns out that because of the belief in them, many of the Disney characters, both heroes and villains, are real. And the villains have decided that they're tired of being shunned and they want more power and have teamed up to form a group known as the Overtakers that are trying to take over the parks and inevitably the world. And it's the job of the Kingdom Keepers to stop them. They can travel throughout the course of the 7-book series, now 8 with the spin-off trilogy, The Return, that's been started. But the Keepers go throughout all sorts of Disney parks, from Walt Disney World to the Animal Kingdom to Epcot, onto the Disney Cruise Lines, and inevitably to Disneyland in California.
Do they ever visit the Tiki Room under new management?
I never heard about them visiting the Tiki Room at any rate, and regular or under new management. They never went to either that I know of. And I never thought about that. That is disappointing. Now I'm sad.
Ha!
But yes, Kingdom Keepers, it's a fun series. The Keepers meet to fight these different villains, mostly led by Maleficent, as you can see her eyes on the cover there.
Ghost Bump.
Ghost Bump.
Ghost Bump.
And they team up with various heroes along the way. It's a lot of fun to develop their abilities, a lot of great character development, a lot of great stuff. My reviews are a little biased because I really like it, but there's also a lot of detail missing about, I was focusing strictly on the plot events and less on a lot of what was happening with the characterization, so that is a flaw of my reviews. If you do go back and watch those, be aware. It's much better.
You had us there.
Yeah, it's much better to read the book series than it is to,
You want us there to point out stuff that we thought was idiotic or problematic.
Yeah. Exactly, and I think a lot of that is in my telling. But a lot of it, there are problems with this series, but a lot of it's in my retelling also, where I left things out because I simply couldn't remember every little thing that happened. So that's partially on me. But yeah, go read the series if you get a chance. Pick it up at your local library. At least read the first book. It's not very long. It's no longer than Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, so you should be able to get through it in a few days. It's a pretty good book.
Philosopher's Stone.
Philosopher's Stone for those across the pond. Sorry.
Boom! You just got British. That's right. That's now a thing. No,
okay,
no.
I approve of that, and I imagine that's also Peg approved.
Or pig farted for those of you who are Starkid fans.
No, that doesn't work here. Stop trying to be cool. Go sit in the corner.
How does that not work?
It doesn't. Just stop. Anyway, but yeah, Kingdom Keepers. It's a great series. It's a lot of fun. Give it a read. You'll see a lot of cool things about Disney characters. Particularly if you like Disney theme parks, read this series, because the author Ridley Pearson put a ridiculous amount of research into making sure that all the parks and all the aspects of the parks, except for 1 or 2 minor things that he did embellish, and he acknowledges those at the end of each book, it's entirely accurate. Everything in the parks, the front part of it, the behind-the-scenes parts of the park, how the attractions work, how the performers work, all of it was legitimately researched and permitted to him by Disney. These are Disney-endorsed books. And you really learn a lot about the parks, and you really feel like you're there. And that's one of the best part of the series, even if some of the characterization and plot is a little bit lacking.
Yeah.
So give it a shot.
Characterization or plot when you have theme park facts.
Exactly.
Hence why Jim likes the books.
But no, there is good plot and characterization. Like I said, I just didn't represent it well. I think that's just my feeling. I could be wrong, but there is great characterization and plot along the way. So overall, check out Kingdom Keepers. It's a great series. I think you'll enjoy it. Over to Marcus for your number 3.
Right. Well, it's one that Stash PD over there has spoken in great detail about, but it is also on my list.
Is it also Kingdom Keepers?
No. I give you Hercules and the Arabian Night. But I chose the much cooler image because, come on, Hades and Jafar, need I say more?
I tried to get one of those, but they were all GIFs. They were all moving.
But yeah, just despite all the plot holes and stuff, this was a great crossover, and it was just it. Regardless of the fact that it kind of didn't make sense that these two worlds would be in the same universe ever merged together like that. It was still fun to see, and just like I said again, Hades and Jafar. That made the episode.
Fair enough.
Although I do have to say, it made me go a little bit and when they basically ripped off DC.
Marcus, headset.
Sorry. Yeah, but it made me go a little bit when I realized they ripped off DC. Because don't they do the Batman Superman thing at the end where Hercules and Aladdin switch places?
They did do that.
Sort of, but that's in other stuff as well.
I wasn't aware that Batman and Superman had done that.
Yeah, Batman and Superman did it before this came out, I believe. I could be wrong.
Yeah, they've done it in the past.
Because there was one point they did that when they were facing Lex Luthor and Bruce got the bright idea to switch places. So Bruce walks into Superman and Lex thinks Superman pulls out kryptonite and Bruce just looks at him and punches him in the face. He's just like, yeah, that doesn't work on a human, dumb shit. He's like, what? Oh, crap! And then Batman comes flying up because of Superman. He's like, hi, Lex.
Did they do that in one of the Lego DC movies?
They did that in the Lego game, the second one, which was also a film.
Fair enough.
I feel like they did it in like the actual animated series too. I remember that actually being either in the animated series or in the comics at some point. Probably the animated series.
That doesn't sound like something they would do, but fair enough.
They've done that in the animated series and in the comics and stuff, but usually, a lot of times as well, it's just because, like, say, someone's figured out who one of them is, the other one dresses up so that it fools the masses. Because they can stand next to their secret identity.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Which is always cool.
Back to the lair.
Indeed. Also, Mole, our good friend Aeon Ryder asked me to point out to you more like Commonwealth.
Okay. Aeon's listening in. Hi, Aeon.
Instead of British to Commonwealth.
Okay, then.
I don't know. I'm just passing it on. Anyway, Mole, how about your number, what are we on, 3?
Yeah. In an ironic twist of events, do you remember the last Final Countdown when we had Disney stuff?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And do you remember when Marcus had Disney Infinity and I had 2.0 and I had to point out he played 2.0?
Mm-hmm.
Boom!
Ha!
Disney Infinity won.
Nice.
I think the second one is a better game. I think this one's a better Disney crossover because the other one was more about Marvel. This one was more about Disney crossover, so I chose this one. And yeah, well, you get all the figures, you put them on, boom, they appear in there. And like if you in toy box mode, you can be like Buzz Lightyear with like McLean and stuff like that. It's like, oh my god, that's awesome. Or oh my god, look, I'm a Jack Sparrow. Look, I'm Tonto. Wait, we're both Johnny Depps. What? Awesome. Which, yeah, that was my number 3, I believe. Yeah. Which was Disney Infinity. So that's a pretty good crossover.
Nah.
And so, as a big Disney fan, as he says, I'm sure Jim's played both Disney Infinities and Disney Universe. I mean, surely he wouldn't have a PlayStation and avoid the Disney crossover games. Surely.
Of course not. Of course not. I would never do that.
Like, I assume you have the Aladdin figures.
Of course.
How is that not a playset?
I know, right?
Like I said, I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, but how much shit would that have sold right after Robin Williams' death if they'd had a playset with a genie figure?
Yeah,
That pretty much prints money.
Pretty much.
basically. Also, I need to know if you use the Jack Sparrow figure and the Tonto figure together. Do you get that? Do you get that trophy you get in Lego Marvel
No,
when you use Captain America and the Human Torch together?
no.
Oh,
Because with Disney Infinity, what they try to do is most of the achievements or trophies are tied to stuff you could do with just the base game.
ah,
Because otherwise, they're giving you achievements for like buying a certain figure, and they didn't want to do that. So
fair enough.
Oh,
That
what they
makes
should have
sense.
done, they should have made a Cave of Wonders playset with a genie figure and a rug figure that comes with it.
see,
That would have been awesome.
I would like an Aladdin playset just because they gave us Aladdin, they gave us Jasmine. That could have easily had a playset piece in there of like Genie's lamp that you put on there,
Yeah,
and then just sold Genie separately because let's face it, everyone will buy Genie.
yeah,
But nope.
yeah. Aladdin needs a playset.
Agreed. All right, back to me.
Back to you.
So, let me go. There we go. So, my number 2, since it was brought up earlier, is Kingdom Hearts. We reviewed this just a few weeks ago, rather extensively. What can I say? It's an awesome video game series integrating Final Fantasy with a sort of Disney world where you get to go to the Disney worlds, meet the characters, be part of the story, and having a great, awesome surrounding backstory that I'll confess gets a little convoluted with all the prequel games about trying to stop the 13 darknesses unleashed by Master Xehanort with the 7 points of light. It's a lot of fun. The gameplay is fun.
I will point out for people listening that review is on the Gaming Zone channel, but it's not that extensive because we kept it shorter about the whole series as a whole.
True. I wanted to do more than that, but we didn't. But yeah. So check out the franchise. It's great. Of course, Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 available on the PlayStation 1 and the others on handheld. Or my recommendation: get 1.5 and 2.5 HD remixes on your PlayStation 3. They have all the games except for the Dream Drop Distance 3DS game. Fair warning: 358 Days Over 2 and Coded are just cutscene movies because they didn't have time to finish the 358 Days Over 2 game, and they decided to continue the whole movie thing for the second one. But overall, you get caught up on the entire story. You'll be ready to go for Kingdom Hearts 3 when it comes out. It's a great franchise. Play. It's a lot of fun, particularly Birth by Sleep. I love that game. Good stuff.
Or if you wanted to get into the series, I wouldn't recommend it, but if you wanted to get in the series, I believe you should probably just wait. Because like Richter's mentioned, and it has been rumoured for a while, there is a rumour that 1.5 and 2.5 will be in one collection on PS4 and Xbox One. Or at least just on PS4.
I must have that.
Which I was like, cool, a game I don't have to review.
Now I have to play. Now I have to play them all again. Damn it!
You don't have to.
I know, but I should. It'll be fun. Anyway.
You could save your money for something better suited, like a paperweight.
Ha. Yeah, Kingdom Hearts. Fun franchise. Check it out. Good stuff. Over to Marcus.
All right. My number 2 was touched upon sort of at the top of the show. And my number 2 is the Disney parks in general. Because, come on. They have characters from their various movies there, mingling with the crowd and kind of each other. If they see each other, they might high five or whatever, take pictures with the crowd. They have the different attractions, and it's constantly evolving to incorporate the modern stuff. The new characters that come out while still trying to stay true to some of the old stuff. And yeah, I'll admit, some of the changes they make aren't good. Some of them are awesome. Some of them are like, why did you do that? They try to make some updates and end up ruining some things. But on the whole, if you want a Disney character crossover experience, a Disney park is probably the way to go, like Disneyland, Disney World. So yeah, that's my number 2. Back to the lair.
Alrighty. Over to Mole for his number 2.
My number 2. Boom.
Nice.
Oh, Once Upon a Time. Now, I will admit this gets a little convoluted, like during season 4, where like Zelena's now dating Robin Hood secretly while having his baby and shit, which is stupid beyond belief. But it's still pretty worth checking out. I mean, they kind of screw over some stuff, and some people's story gets shifted to other people, which it shouldn't belong on. Like, I'm pretty sure that now Emma's the Dark One, Hook and her get a kiss and break the curse, which should have been fucking Belle and Rumpelstiltskin thing. But it's still a really good crossover, and they do all the characters in a realistic way, and like, this is probably the best written any of the Disney characters that are featured in this have actually been. Like, Frozen even appears in this, and it's watchable. It's really good. Like, Snow White appears in this, and she's really three-dimensional and stuff, and it's pretty cool. It's worth checking out.
All right, back to Jim.
Agreed. My number 1 is Once Upon a Time. Now, I have not seen season 4 yet, but the first 3 seasons that I have seen, I love this show. I don't know why I haven't been watching this all along. I caught up on it over the summer here. This is an amazing show. The Disney characters are all really three-dimensional. The stories are really interesting to tell, the way they've put little changes in here and there, the way they've tied it all together. It's really, really good. Like Mo said, it does get a little convoluted here and there, but it's still a lot of fun to watch. It's really enjoyable. And it's just a great thing because you're getting, these fairy tale characters you enjoy. You're getting a lot of the stories but with little twists here and there that make them that much more interesting and that much more surprising. You're working at characters from all kinds of different properties. It's just really, really great. I haven't seen the Frozen part yet, so I can't test any of that. But what I did see is just really good. I love it.
It is really good. I will say the weakest part for me is the first half of season 3. I really don't like that Peter Pan arc.
Yeah, that Peter Pan arc was a little weird. I'll give you that one. I think the Wizard of Oz other half of that season was better.
Yep. And of course, we can all say that the Evil Queen is hot.
Yes, Regina is amazingly hot. So yes, Once Upon a Time. Watch this show. Seasons 1 through 3 are on American Netflix. Seasons 1 through 4 are on European Netflix. Seasons 1 through 3 are on DVD. Season 4 will be hitting DVD in August, at which point it will also hit US Netflix.
Season 1 to 4 is on UK Netflix. Not European, because I believe they have Netflix for different regions based on the rights.
Oh, fair enough.
Which, it's worth noting, Netflix in the UK is the only place in the UK to watch Once Upon a Time now. Yeah, since Channel 5 dropped it after season 2, which was annoying. But then we got season 3, and then season 4, we were getting it at each episode, like what was it, like a day or 2 days after US? So that's pretty awesome.
That's not bad, yeah. Go with it. Wish our Netflix was getting it at that rate, then I could go back and watch them all. But yeah, Once Upon a Time.
I wish my TV was getting it at the rate yours did.
Yeah, I know.
I just watch it on TV.
I know. I would have too if I'd caught up before the season ended. But yeah, Once Upon a Time. Go check it out. It's a great show. Coming back to ABC on Sundays once again this fall. It's going to be good. Enjoy it. Once Upon a Time, my number 1 crossover. Over to Marcus.
My number 1, and I'm not going to speak a lot about this because we'll be reviewing it in a couple weeks, so do tune into the Shadows Mall for that. My number 1, Who Framed Roger Rabbit? And the big reason why this is my number 1 is because it's done one thing that that we hadn't seen before and we haven't seen since, and that's Disney and Warner Brothers together in the same movie. It's like, whoa, mind blown, especially at that point in time. And just, it's an out-and-out great movie. It's a great blend of live action and cartoon. in addition to just the blend of Warner Brothers and Disney, just putting them all in literally one universe, one cartoon universe. It's funny, it's dark, it's really dark, and it's a great movie, and it's a great crossover movie on many levels. And look at that animation. It's beautiful animation. So yes, back to Jim.
Alrighty. And let's wrap this up with Mole's number 1. What do you got, Mole?
Just like Marcus. Boom.
Nice.
I just chose the superior image.
Oh.
No.
That is a great scene.
I was going to use the image where it's like all the Disney people and Warner Bros. And stuff together, but I was like, no, sod it, because what I like about this crossover is the fact Mickey Mouse, Bugs Bunny and stuff do cross over, but that's not the point of watching this. They only cross over to enhance the story that the cartoons and live action are crossing over. And that's a much better way of doing it. They didn't say like watch this to see Mickey team with like Bugs. Oh my God, once in a lifetime and stuff. No, they just had them there to enhance what was already there, and as a result, you got a great bit of cinema, like a classic piece of film.
Yeah, they're not the main characters. They just happen to be there because they inhabit the Toon World.
Yeah. And the other thing is you'll notice the constant duplicity in that film because the contracts between the company stipulated that one stars could not be on the screen without the others, which is why you never saw Bugs without Mickey, Daffy without Donald, so on and so forth.
Yep.
Well, it worked.
Yeah, it worked, and I like that because they used them like they used Mickey and Bugs in the same way Wreck-It Ralph used Cubert and Sonic. They were backgrounds and it just makes you buy the world.
True.
Yeah.
Like, without those, it would just be, oh, it's crossing over with cartoons. I'm not really believing this is the cartoon world or whatever as much.
Yeah.
But when it's like, oh my God, the two biggest icons in cartoons together at once, holy fuck, I believe this is cartoons.
Yeah.
And that is why that works.
I still like the Cubert one. He got a happy ending. He got to be in Ralph's game.
No, he got a disappointing ending. He got a disappointing ending because he's in Pixels.
That too.
Yeah, it just makes me sad that peace between media giants like that, like, pretty much doesn't exist anymore. And it's like, oh. But the greatness comes when you guys put aside your differences and say we can coexist.
Hey, sometimes that does happen.
Yeah, like greatness always happens when they do that. Like, who remembers that comic of the Incredible Hulk vs. Superman where Superman just punches him once and it turns out to be a fucking robot?
Ha!
Nice. Fucking hate that comic. I almost hate that as much as that one I bought of Darth Maul vs. Luke Skywalker, and you're like, oh, yes! Then you go there and it's just a hologram with Darth Maul's memories. It's just attacking Luke with some base lasers so he can go doo-doo, deflect it, and then speak to his brother.
Lame.
And now we wait for the host to wrap this up.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I like the Marvel versus DC comic. I know there's been more than one.
There's been loads.
So I've only read one, but the one I read, I thought the concept was great. I thought the fights were great. You know, some may argue about some of the outcomes, but I thought that, you know, both franchise characters were portrayed well, and it was funny.
Oh, I agree. A lot of times, you know, with crossovers, they can be done right with like DC, Marvel, and stuff, but sometimes they can just be done really badly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes it can be really good. I give you amalgam.
And I'm gonna make the comment right now. DC v Marvel, DC and Marvel, I'd love another crossover, but it's good for them if they don't cross over, because right now, with the mindset of the audience of today, everyone wants to pick a side. Oh, I'm on DC, I'm on Marvel. People don't want to say they're like both.
Yeah.
Or they enjoy elements of both. Therefore, if it was a crossover with both, it would hurt the competition level of which one's going to win.
True.
Well, I also think it wouldn't work because Disney's kind of fucking up Marvel at this point in time. They need to fix Marvel before they can do anything like that.
They're trying to fix Marvel.
They're trying to, but they're being so fucking spiteful that it's failing. The only way they're going to fix Marvel is if they stop being so fucking spiteful and let Marvel Comics be Marvel Comics and don't worry about everything else. But that's a discussion for another show.
Yep.
Yes, and interesting you made that point out because, again, one of what will hopefully be one of the greatest examples of conglomerates coming together to make something amazing, I give you MCU Spider-Man.
Who, by the way, has been confirmed is going to be Peter Parker.
To
We
be
know
fair,
that.
we don't know if that's going to be one of the greatest. Like I said, because Sony still gets final say and Sony gets to write the movies, who have destroyed 2 Spider-Man franchises already out of 2, there's a good chance this could fail.
True.
And let's face facts, the MCU isn't exactly as brilliant as people make out. It still gave us Iron Man 2.
Well, based on what the
Could
writer
have
of
been worse.
Spider-Man,
It still gave us Iron Man 3.
based
No,
on
it
what the
could've been
writer of
worse.
Spider-Man
I know
said,
it's worse. They gave his Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
yeah.
Mm.
But based on what the writer of Spider-Man said, it's shaping up. It could be good because number one, he said there's not going to be an origin story. Number two, there's going to be more humor because he's going to portray Spider-Man more as classic Spider-Man, where he's kind of, he's an awkward nerd and he's using humor as a defense mechanism. And I'm like, cool. So you're actually going to make him Spider-Man. I kind of approve of this.
Yeah,
So
but
it could be good.
to be fair, he's not going to come out and say, yeah, you need to watch this, it's going to be shit, but you need to line
No.
my pockets with cash. And Spider-Man with more humor, I liked Andrew Garfield in the first one with how much humor and stuff he brought to the table. I don't want him to make it like the ultimate Spider-Man cartoon where he's now turned into current Deadpool.
Yeah, that's going to be the one thing about this Spider-Man movie is going too far with the humor. That's the one thing that made me go, ugh, with their choice for a writer. I don't remember his name, but he's known. Some of his better movies have been more of the comedy movies. I'm hoping they don't go full on comedy with it, but based on what he said he's doing with the franchise, it sounds like he's going to press on the character.
Margus headset.
Sorry.
And I will also point out while we're recording and we talk about crossovers, Fox did it first.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not forget there was an X-Men Days of Future Past scene inserted into Spider-Man 2's credits.
That is
True.
They did it first. Boom.
Though they also incorporated the X-Men into the Spider-Man cartoon, so yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but that was when Marvel was a different company.
Mm-hmm.
True.
It's like the Spider-Man cartoons will feature like Wolverine and stuff sometimes.
Yep.
But yeah,
And they successfully incorporated Fantastic Four into the worst superhero franchise on the market today.
Kind of, yeah.
I was trying to think which episode of Power Rangers was that.
Ha!
Oh.
Nice. That was good.
But I believe it's time for Jim to take us home.
It is time for Jim to take us home. So thank you, gentlemen, for joining me for this wonderful little look.
Welcome. It was
The,
fun.
crossovers. Good time.
Pleasure.
Appropriate for the summer at Disney. Stay tuned for next month, the second month of the summer at Disney, in which our theme is going to be taking any random given movie and making it into an animated Disney movie.
That's Punch Starter.
Oh, sorry, that's Punch Starter. My bad. The final countdown list will be the top 5 villain redemptions. That is not limited to Disney. That can be anything. But the Punch Starter is Disney themed, so do check that out as well.
Can we include Sandman from Spider-Man 3?
Could.
Sure, why not? And he did it for his daughter. I don't know.
You did technically start as a villain, so that would count.
Yeah. Can we include Surfboard Harry? Does that count?
No, because Harry Osborn started not as a villain in like the first movie.
But the new Goblin started as a villain. And as Batman Arkham Knight tells us, putting someone in a different costume clearly makes him an original character.
I see what you did there. But yeah, stay tuned for all that great stuff. Summer Disney continues this month. We will also be reviewing, at minimum, the first 3 seasons of Once Upon a Time, possibly season 4 if I can see it in time. A lot of great stuff coming.
I'm also surprised for Disney crossovers. None of you took either Dino Thunder Ninja Storm or Once a Ranger.
Yeah, technically that would have counted.
It would.
Yes.
I believe technically that wouldn't. Like Jim said, we couldn't use like Marvel and Star Wars style stuff.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Alright,
otherwise, the number one would probably be Earth X.
Mhm.
I don't know
Yes,
what
as
that is.
I also stated on the Shadows Mall coming up in a few weeks here, we're going to be reviewing Who Framed Roger Rabbit. And I believe, is it tomorrow, Jim, that Pew Pew Productions is going to review, is it Inside Out or something like that? The
That is
new
correct.
movie?
The new Inside Out film, Pew Pew and I will be reviewing that tomorrow evening at or around 9:30 p.m.
Eastern Time.
Eastern Time.
So much Disney stuff coming up this month, which is in fact going to be a month of Disney. So woo!
2 months of magic, once a year, expound summer of Disney. I love it. All right.
Except for the gaming zone, 'cause I don't
Mm.
give praise to mediocrity.
Ouch. Fair enough. Singing
Although
the game's
technically
over.
you did Kingdom Hearts, which would have been summer of Disney.
That was last month.
Yeah, well, this month he's not.
Not
Yeah,
this
this
month, but
this month coming up, I won't be.
yeah, but summer of Disney's 2 months.
It was, as I said, it's coming up when you guys would talk about all your stuff coming up.
Fair enough. Then you
Stay
are
tuned.
correct.
Stay tuned for
Because it is worth noting, coming up on the gaming zone, we are reviewing the Xbox One and Halo.
Nice.
Master Chief Collection.
Sweet. Spoiler
Halo
alert.
sucks.
Spoiler alert. Pew thinks it sucks.
It does. The second one's not bad. The first one sucks.
All right, folks. We'll see you next
Still better
time.
than Kingdom Hearts.
Ouch.
Unless you like gummy ship levels.
Ha.
Ugh.
No, the gummy ship level should not have been in any of the games. Even I will agree with that. There was no need for that.
Yeah.
So take us home, oh infectious one.
Hmm? Okay then. Oh, thank you, dude, for joining me. I'm James Phoenix. We'll see you next time, folks. Here on the Final Countdown.